Welcome to Holland Garage, Behind the Garage. On this channel, kind of a spin-off from my main channel of Holland Garage, we would like to explore different things, maybe do some reviews. You guys can follow along on my family adventures, things that we like to do together. Sometimes I will review products. Mostly I don't get paid for them. It's just stuff that I buy out of my own pocket that I thought and think that are nice things to have that can be helpful. We have this 2004 Niagara Fleetwood Niagara pop-up camper. It's a fixer-upper. It does not come with AC, so we thought we needed a good portable AC unit, something that we can use for different things, different occasions, besides just using it for the pop-up. So we went and purchased the new EcoFlow Wave 3. It's an all battery powered portable AC and slash heat pump that is powered by batteries. What's nice about that is I'm already into the EcoFlow line. I've got an EcoFlow Delta 2, which is powering it currently. I've got the 800 watt alternator charger. I've got two of their 100 amp hour trolling motors, and I also have the EcoFlow Wave 3, or not Wave 3, Wave 3, the EcoFlow Delta 3, and I also have two of their 110 watt solar panels. So I'm kind of invested into the EcoFlow line. They're a great product. The customer service is quite lacking, but they have good products. So in this first video, I would like to review, test out, and just check out overall the Wave 3 portable AC unit. Now, today it is a balmy 52 degrees inside this camper. It has been raining on and off, and it's just chilly. So unfortunately, we won't be testing out the AC functions of this, but we will be testing out the heating capabilities of it. I would like to get some work done out here. I still need to finish up parts of the ceiling. I've got the light wires hanging down, so once I get the ceiling done, I can get the lights installed and just kind of work more inside the camper today. So let's get this ball rolling. So what's nice about this, it's portable. It's very efficient. It's super quiet. That I really like, especially at night. And me and my wife are both hot sleepers, so we like being cooler than probably most people. So this was a very nice addition. They're not cheap. You can get them kind of cheapish. They're about $849 right now. So right now I just have it duct going out the dinette screen. And they're going to say you don't want to have the hoses stacked on top of each other, close to each other, but this is just for testing purposes. It's not going to be anything permanent. So let's fire this thing up. It is being powered by my Delta 2. Also, I have the alternator charger, the 800 watt alternator charger attached to it, to the Delta 2. I thought that the 800 watt alternator charger would be able to power this, but it will not. Hopefully they come out with an update to allow the 800 watt alternator to just power it directly from batteries. It doesn't necessarily have to be the EcoFlow brand batteries. It can be lead acid, it could be lithium, it could be any type of batteries that you have. But as far as I know right now, you cannot just power this alone by the 800 watt alternator charger, which kind of bummed me out, because even though I know the power stations can power them for a long time, this is 200 amp hours worth of energy that I can't use. I can use, in theory, I can buy the $75 cable for the new 500 watt alternator charger and just use that XT60 and then just limit it to 500 watts, which is fine by me, and I may just go ahead and jump online and buy that cable for the time being until they can come up with an app or update the alternator, the 800 watt alternator charger. Boy, I cannot talk today, to run without a power station, because you're taking it from battery to the power station, converting it to AC, running it AC to the Wave 3, then it's converting it back to DC. That's just a lot of power losses. I'd like to just keep it in the DC platform. I do have two 200 watt bifacial solar panels for 400 watts up on the roof, along with the two 110 watt EcoFlow foldable solar panels that we can also use. So I digress. So let's get some testing done. I'd like to see how warm it can get it and keep it. Got to hold down on the power button. So it will take a second to kind of ramp up. Right now it's set to 72, so let's increase that. Let's bump it up to 80. Currently it is, let me check the thermometer in the camper, it is 53 degrees. So it is super quiet. The fan setting is on 2. There's a lot of cars going out today. So it is ramping up. There it goes. Now I did play with this off camera just to make sure that it's going to work. And it does make weird spaceship noises sometimes. Weird. But we'll let this run for a bit and then we'll see what the temperature comes up to. Here it is running. Currently set to 80. It says it's 60 degrees in here. This thermostat says it's 53. It is putting out some heat. It's not super hot yet. Currently showing about 326 watts going out. It can run roughly 3 hours at the setting that it's at. So we'll let this run. See what she gets up to. Alright, so we pumped it up to max just to see how much heat can actually come out of this thing, and I've got it set to its highest temperature of 86. It did start off around 320, 330. Now we're pushing just below 500 watts. It says we got about 2 hours. And it's building up some condensation on the screen behind the camper, behind the vinyl, between the vinyl and the screen. So I think it said it was putting about 93 degrees temperature. So according to this, the temperature has gone up by about 3 degrees in about 10 minutes. Let's check the temperature now. It will obviously be colder down here because this is more closer to the floor and heat rises. So that's still showing 53. But standing here, it's not bad. It's starting to get pretty comfortable in here. So we'll check back here in a few, see how it does. Alright, so we're about 20-25 minutes in, and I've noticed something. If you could see the little discoloration, it's actually really cold. And I can feel cold air rushing in the gap. That's pretty icy cold. Not so much on the other side. I can feel it. I've tried pushing down on it thinking maybe I just don't have it down all the way. But it ain't going down any further And these hoses, that hose is nice and cold. This is cooler, but not as cold as that. You see, still building up quite a bit of condensation. So, but it is feeling much better in here compared to 20 minutes ago. So we'll let it run and see what the temperature settles out at. So we're up 54 degrees on the floor, and the unit says, it is 66. So we'll check back in. Now I wanted to test it in our pop-up camper because we need it for the camper, but this will be kind of like a true torture test, because heating and cooling something that has air gaps, like even things that are back here, of course that one I do have strapped down, but you have clear access to the outside. There's air gaps all over this camper. You know, and we can go through and try to minimize as much as we possibly can. Don't mind all the construction stuff, but like that. You're going to lose a lot of heat and a lot of cool, which that can be strapped under. But this fabric is not the best to heat or cool because it is fabric. It's breathable fabric. Now this camper does have, I want to say it's a 9,000 BTU forced propane heater, and that works wonderful. We've actually stayed in this camper once when we first got it, and that thing actually heated us out in the middle of the night. We had to actually shut her down. It's got its stains, it's got its flaws. It has sat for years. Mice have gotten to it. So other than that, I mean, it needed a new roof. The roof leaked, so we're putting in a fake ceiling, a false ceiling. And repair that. That broke off. That's to hold the shower curtain / toilet privacy screen. So far, this thing is just chugging along, doing a really good job. So check back in a few. Alright, so while that's going and doing its thing, I'll show you what I've done with the electrical solar panel side of things. So there is two 200-watt bifacial solar panels that will come down. Get some MC4 connectors, and then they will connect down here. What's up, bud? Feel pretty good? Mm-hmm. Feel warmer than it is outside?
Yeah.
So the solar will come in from the side, and this is where I will have the 2 batteries installed. That little cubby hole. I still have to finish all that up, and then that will connect to either a power station or to the alternator charger once they get the updated, and it will actually work with the Wave 3. But then at that point we can run pretty much anything off of solar and batteries if we decide to go off grid and go camping out in the middle of nowhere. How much heat is that thing putting out? According to the app, it is 99 degrees. 60? It's 60 degrees. No, not even 60 degrees outside. 68. You think that feels like 68?
Yes.
Okay.
That is not 99.
That is 99 degrees.
If that was outside, I'd say it's 68.
Yeah. I don't even think it's even 68 outside. So let's see what the temperature's showing now. So we're still at 54. So it still shows about 66.8. We'll let her go for a little bit longer and see what she is in about another 10-15 minutes.
What was it? 86.
Well, 86 is the max that it can go to.
What's it at right now?
Well, right now it's at 86.
That's close.
But the temperature here on the left side is the temperature of the unit.
67.
Yeah, 67. So we'll let her run, but it actually feels really comfortable in here. It's about, well, what, 68? About what we keep the house anyway.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what I said.
Okay, but we'll let that go for a little bit longer, and we'll just see how hot we can get it in here. So we've let it run for the past 2 hours. It did tell me that the condensation tank was getting full, and so I went to attach the hose, and when I pulled the cap off, water just started spewing everywhere. So I was able to get the hose on pretty quick, but it still made a little bit of a mess. And then I was able to hit the button, and it pushed the water out, so that was pretty convenient. It is roughly 49 degrees outside now. The temperature is dropping. The unit shows that it has been holding steady about 69, 70. The unit is running on max. So to answer anybody's question, can it at least keep it comfortable in a pop-up tent? This tent's roughly, I'd say, between 160, maybe 180 square feet, somewhere in that neighborhood. So fairly large pop-up. What do I think of it? I think it's a great unit. For heat, I mean, I've seen a couple people say that, man, this thing puts out a serious amount of heat. That's warm. Like, that's, in the app it shows it's never really gotten above 99 degrees. Of course, we got this for its AC capabilities, but because it's still too cold right now to test out the AC, I figured now is a good time to test out the heat. Would I buy it? Yes, because I love all the features. It has the automatic mode where it can switch from heat to cool, back to heat. It has dog mode to keep your pets safe if you're in like a small home or van life or anything like that. I know that we can keep our dogs in our camper, in our pop-up camper, if we decide to leave for an hour, and I'll know that this unit will at least be able to run if it gets hot, if it gets cold, and it should keep the animals comfortable. I would like to see the 800-watt alternator be compatible with this, so we'll see if that happens in the future. Fingers crossed, because I would really love to just run these batteries to power this along with the solar. And if need be, I can run my Delta 2 or my Delta 3 to assist in powering it. Overall, I like it. It does have some drawbacks, like here, I don't have my infrared thermometer, my heat gun to see my thermal imaging camera. I couldn't think of it. I have a thermal imaging camera, and I would like to see what the difference, because this is really cold. This hose is solidly cold. So if I were to do this, I would probably have the unit outside and then just pipe the intake here and the exhaust back into this camper. Another thing, I have it up higher. So right now, it's about 56 degrees on the floor, roughly probably about 70-ish at the ceiling. So it will keep it comfortable. It is 49 degrees outside, so I imagine if it got colder, I think the max temp that this is able to run and heat is around 40. I've seen Hobotech, he reviewed it. He got her down into the mid 30s, and it still worked good. So I feel like if it got any more colder, being inside of a pop-up tent, this probably would not heat anything less than cold, as you know, colder than it would be right now. But saying that, I'm glad we've got it. I think it's going to be very useful, and I look forward to using it in the future for our future camping trips and whatever other projects I need. So if I need it in the garage, if I have the garage shut in the summertime, I can pipe it towards me while I'm working on the truck or the car or whatever project I got going on at that moment in time. And it'll keep me cool. It'll keep me comfortable while I'm working on things. So I think that's going to be about wrapping this up. If you guys have any questions, I will do the best to answer them. I don't know a whole lot about EcoFlow. There is a ton of videos out now about the Wave 3 that people go a lot more in depth than what I'm going to go into, because I'm not really the tech nerdy, detailed type of guy. I just wanted to test it out in our pop-up camper and see how it does. I will be making a video on the AC aspect of it to see. I'm going to wait for the sun to come out and it's not so rainy and gloomy and cold. Wait for it to warm up, get up into the good 80s, stick it in here, and we'll rerun this test and see how it does with the AC function. But until then, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.